Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Jaya Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Naim Vishupad Paramahamsa, Tri Vradhikacharya Stotra Satya Sri Simad, His Divine Grace, Shilabai Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Iskandi Biti, Founder Charyas Divine Grace Sri Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki, Samavat Bhaktivinoda ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Grantaraj Bhagavatam ki, Jaini Thai Gaur Pimanandi. All gladies to the assembled devotees, all gladies to the assembled devotees, all gladies to the assembled devotees, all gladies to Sri Guru, to Sri Gauranga, all gladies to Sri Prabhupada. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Tatsurandaritam Jaina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jaina Bhuttale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam Sritam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyayevascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Ram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Naranarayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Preya Sabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, it becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Charitam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya lokasya Dhanyam swasya namaha. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all the literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Surabhyaya Namaha, Om Surabhyaya Namaha, Om Surabhyaya Namaha, Mukam karoti vasaram tvangum nankayate girim Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Vinatharanam Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Vinatharanam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Bhagavatam class. We continue reading from the 10th Canto, Chapter 11. Chapter 11. We will begin from text 38. We might come back to the last purport we read about this was the system of education. Yeah. Okay. Text 38. Avidure Braja Bhuvaha Saha Gopala Dharakai Sarayam Asatur Vatsan Nana Krida Parichadau Avidure Braja Bhuva Saha Gopala Dharakai Sarayam Asatur Vatsan Nana Krida Parichadau Avidure Braja Bhuva Saha Gopala Dharakai Sarayam Asatura Vatsan Nana Krida Parishadau Abidure Braja Bhuva Saha Gopala Dharakai Sarayam Asatura Vatsan Nana Krida Parishadau Avidure Braja Bhuva Saha Gopala Dharakai Sarayam Asatur Vatsan Nana Krida Parishadau
Avidure vraja bhuvaha.
Avidure vraja bhuva.
Saha gopaladarakay.
Saha gopaladarakay.
Charayama saturvatsan.
Charayama saturvatsan.
Nana krida parichhada.
Nana krida parishada. Avidure vraja bhuva. Saha gopaladarakay. Charayama saturvatsan. Nana krida parishada. Avidure.
Avidure.
Not very far from
Not very far from
the residential quarters of the Brajavasis. Braja Bhuvaha. From the land known as Braja.
From the land known as Braja.
Saha Gopala Darakai. With other boys of the same profession. Cowherd boys. Tarayam Asatu. Tended. Vatsan. The small calves. Nana. Various. Krida. Sporting. Parichadao. Dressed very nicely. In different ways. And equipped with implements. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Actually, this is not having a purport. Translation: not far away from their residential quarters, both Krishna and Balaram, equipped with all kinds of playthings, played with other cowherd boys and began to tend the small calves. Krida. There is a one of the 64. What is it? Huh? No.
Arts and
There are 64 arts and sciences that are listed in the Shastras as being the it must be a Sanskrit term for that. 64 arts. 64 arts and sciences that are actually the various sciences that Srimati Radharani has mastered, and I think there's some overlapping possibly because some of these are also, just like here, Krida is one of them, and they're both applicable for male and female, you know. Krida. So Krida is one of the 64. Krida is, push it a little bit. Krida is one of the 64 arts and sciences, and actually our Bharatchandra Prabhu compiled some of these are very difficult to find. There are books written on this, much of which is in Sanskrit. But there's all kinds of plays, natural plays, some of which are described actually in this 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. And so playing is actually a very, very, very important aspect. It's part of education actually for both young boys and young girls at that particular age. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also explains a very important point regarding the early, we could say, character formation of young children. And he mentions how it is very important that they get opportunity to play amongst their peers. This is mentioned here. Because they will learn to relate in different ways. They will learn to be patient at times. They will learn to share so many things actually that are there. So in other words, the early the childhood years are very, very important because they help for the future development of individuals. Yeah. So, yeah, there's no purport here. We'll continue to our next verse, which is 30 and 40 combined together. Any other book we're reading? If you have, you can maybe Canto number 10, Chapter 11. Canto 10, Chapter 11, text, we're on text 39, 40, yeah. Kvachit vadayato venum
Vachidvadayato venum
Krepanai kshipata kvachit
Kshepanai kshipata
Kvachit padai kim kinibhi
Kvachit padai kinkinihi
Kvachit kritrima go vrishai
Kvachit kritrimago vishaye
Vrishayamanau nardhantau
Vishayamano naradantau
Yayudhatte parasparam
Yudhate parasparam
Anukritya rutair jantum
Anukritya rutaidatum
Chiratu prakritau yatha
Cheratu prakritau yata
Translation and purport. Sometimes Krishna and Balaram would play on their flutes. Sometimes they would throw ropes and stones devised for getting fruits from the trees. Sometimes they would throw only stones, and sometimes their ankle bells tinkling, they would play football with fruits like Bail and Amalaki. This is the natural way of playing football. It's also described how sometimes the boys would cheat and they would run away with the football and eat it up. They would cover themselves with blankets and imitate cows and bulls and fight with one another, roaring loudly. And sometimes they would imitate the voices of the animals. In this way, they enjoyed sporting exactly like two ordinary human children. Purport. Vrindavan is full of peacocks. Kujat, Kokila, Hamsa, Sarasa, Ganakirne, Mayurakule. The Vrindavan forest is always full of cuckoos, ducks, swans, peacocks, cranes, and also monkeys, bulls, and cows. So Krishna and Balaram used to imitate the sounds of these animals and enjoy sporting. Krishna not only would be expert in making these sounds, but he could also speak their language. I don't know if it's easy to learn, but yeah. So this is a very brief description of how the the young boys in Vrindavan, the cowherd friends of Krishna, they would spend their time in this very natural setting, very natural activities. Text 41. Kadachit yamuna tire.
Kadachit yamuna tire.
Actually, just before, when I was reading this verse, text 30, Kinkini's name is there. You can send a note to Kinkini and tell him, we found your name in the Bhagavatam. And Kinkini is Kinkini bhi. Well, with the sound of ankle bells. Yeah. But Kinkini is one friend, name of one of cowherd boys in Vrindavan. I don't know if there's connection here or not, but anyways. So the translation, right? We read 41? No.
We just started.
We're just starting. We didn't finish it. Okay. So I'll start again. Kadachit yamuna tire.
Kadachit yamuna tire.
Vatsam sacharo yato swakai.
Vatsam chacharo yato swakai.
Vayasyai Krishna balayor.
Vayasyai Krishna balayor.
Jigam sur daitya agamat.
Jigam shur daitya agamat.
One day, while Ram and Krishna, along with their playmates, were tending the calves on the bank of the river Jamuna, another demon arrived there, desiring to kill them. They left Gokula to get away from the demons. I guess the demons are feeling separation, crossing over Vrindavan. Okay, text 42. Tam vatsa rupinam viksha.
Tam vatsarupinam viksha.
Vatsa yutha gatam hari.
Vatsayuta gatam hari.
Darshayan baladevaya.
Darshayan baladevaya.
Shanair mugda iva sadat.
Shamay mukta iva sadat.
Translation and purport. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead saw that the demon had assumed the form of a calf and entered among the groups of other calves, he pointed out to Baladev, here is another demon. Then he very slowly approached the demon as if he did not understand the demon's intentions. Purport. The import of the word mugdha iva is that although Krishna knows everything, here he pretended that he did not understand why the demon had entered among the calves, and he informed Baladev by a sign. 43. Prihitva parapadabhyam.
Hitva parapadabhyam.
Sahalangulam achyuta.
Sahalangulam achyuta.
Ramayitva kapitagre.
Ramayitva kapitagre.
Kahinod gata jivitam.
Kahinod gata jivitam.
Sa kapitair mahakaya.
Sa kapithair mahakaya.
Patyamanai papataha.
Patyamanai papataha.
Translation. Thereafter, Sri Krishna caught the demon by the hind legs and tail, twirled the demon's whole body very strongly until the demon was dead, and threw him into the top of a kapita tree, which then fell down along with the body of the demon, who had assumed a great form. Purport. Krishna killed the demon in such a way as to get the kapita fruits to fall, so that he and Balaram and the other boys could take advantage of the opportunity to eat them. The kapita is sometimes called Chatbel Phal. And this fruit is here in Bengal? No. Okay. We have to go to Vrindavan. The pulp of this fruit is very palatable. It is sweet and sour, and everyone likes it. Sometimes they have some other name, but I don't know of any fruit that is sweet and sour. It's not.
I've heard that is a wood apple.
Wood apple.
Yeah. I don't know how accurate it is, but I've heard one rendition.
Okay, what's a wood apple?
I don't know, some sort of apple.
A wood apple, okay.
Bale fruit.
Bale. Well, bale is here, right?
Yeah, it is there. Bale is.
Wood apple. You know bale?
Yes.
Hardcover.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice.
Like wood.
Yeah.
Not hard like wood. Yeah, they serve it, especially they make this nice, very nice juice at the Gaur Purnima time, especially. Maybe it ripens at that time. That's it. Yeah, bale tree. That name is not there, right? Okay. Yeah, Google is not complete. Has okay, text 44. Tam diksha vishmita bala
Tam viksha vishmita bala
shashamsu sadhu sadviti
Sashamshu sadhu sadviti
devascha parishantusta
Devascha parisantushta
babubhu pushpa varshinaha.
Babuhu pushpavashina.
A translation: upon seeing the dead body of the demon, all the cowherd boys exclaimed, "Well done, Krishna! Very good, very good. Thank you." In the upper planetary system, all the demigods were pleased, and therefore they showered flowers on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada is not giving very long purports, so I'm also not, The 10th canto is meant to be just heard and relished. Because Prabhupada explains how the residents of Vrindavan, they don't spend so much time talking philosophy. There's no need for high philosophy there because they're already on the highest level of developed consciousness. Text 45. Tavatsa palakau bhutva sarvalokaika palakau sapratar asau go vatsams charayantau vicheratu. Translation and purport. After the killing of the demon, Krishna and Balaram finished their breakfast in the morning, and while continuing to take care of the calves, they wandered here and there. Krishna and Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who maintain the entire creation, now took charge of the calves as if cowherd boys. Purport. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya saduskritam. Okay. Paritranaya sadhunam. Krishna's daily business here in this material world was to kill the duskritis, This did not hamper his daily affairs, for it was routine work. While he tended the calves on the bank of the river Jamuna, 2 or 3 incidents took place every day. And although these were serious, killing the demons one after another appeared to be his daily routine work. Being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna did not have to exhibit great effort to deal with the unwanted elements. As a matter of fact, he usually would be smiling and jolly in doing that. 46. Swam swam vatsa kulam sarve
Swan Swamatsakulam Sarve
payayishyanta ekada
Payayishyanta Ekada
gatva jala saya dhyasham
Gatva Jalashayabhyasam
payayitva papur jalam.
Payayitva Vapurjalam.
Translation: one day all the boys, including Krishna and Balaram, each boy taking his own group of calves, brought the calves to a reservoir of water, desiring to allow them to drink. After the animals drank water, the boys drank water there also. Te tatra dadrishur bala
Te tatra dadrishur bala
Mahasattvam avastitam
Mahasattvam avasthitam
tatrasur vraja nirbhinnam
Tatrasurvaja nirbhinnam
gire sringam iva chutam.
Viresingam vivachyutam.
Translation: right by the reservoir, the boys saw a gigantic body resembling a mountain peak, broken and struck down by a thunderbolt. They were very afraid, even to see such a huge living being. 48. Sabai Bako Nama Mahan
Sabai Bako Nama Mahan
Asuro Bakarupadrik
Asuro Bakarupadrik
Agatya Sahasa Krishnam
Agatya Sahasa Krishna
Tikshna Tundo Grasad Bali.
Tikshnatunto Grasad Bali.
That great body demon was named Bakasura. He had assumed the body of a duck with a very sharp beak. Having come there, he immediately swallowed Krishna. Wow. 49. Krishna Mahabaka Grastam
Krishna Mahabhagagrastam
Drisva Ramadayo Drisva Ramadayor Baka
Vishwaramayayor Bhakta
Babuvur Indriyaniva
Bahuvurindriyaniva
Vina Pranam Vichetasaha.
Vina Pranam Vichetasa.
Translation and purports. When Balaram and the other boys saw that Krishna had been devoured by the gigantic duck, they became almost unconscious, like senses without life. Purport. Although Balaram can do everything, because of intense affection for his brother, he was momentarily bewildered. A similar thing is stated to have happened in connection with Rukmini Harana, the kidnapping of Rukmini. When Krishna, after kidnapping Rukmini, was attacked by all the kings, Rukmini was momentarily bewildered until the Lord took the proper steps. Text 15. Tam talumulam pradahantam agnivad Gopala sunum pitaram jagat guru
Gopalasono pitaram jagadguru.
Tasarda sadyo tiru shaksatam bakas
Chacharda sadyo tirushakshatam baka.
Sundena hantum punar abhyapadyata.
Sudena anto pinaragyapadyata.
Translation and purport. Krishna, who is the father of Lord Brahma, but who was acting as the son of a cowherd man, became like fire, burning the root of the demon's throat. And the demon, Bakasura, immediately disgorged him. When the demon saw that Krishna, although having been swallowed, was unharmed, he immediately attacked Krishna again with his sharp beak. Purport. Although Krishna is always as soft as a lotus, within the throat of Bakasura, he created a burning sensation of being hotter than fire. Although Krishna's whole body is sweeter than sugar candy, Bakasura tasted bitterness and therefore immediately vomited Krishna up. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4:11, Ye yata mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. When Krishna is accepted as an enemy, he becomes the most intolerable object for the non-devotee who cannot tolerate Krishna within or without. Here, this is shown by the example of Bakasura. Text 51. Tama patantam sanigriyatundayor
Padantam sanigriyatundayor.
Dhorbhyam bakam kamsa sakam satam patihi
Yoryam bhagam sasakam satam pati.
Pashatsu baleshu dadara lilaya
Vashyatsu baleshu dadara lilaya.
Muda baho viranavad divau kasam. Translation. When Krishna, the leader of the Vaishnavas, saw that the demon Bakasura, the friend of Kamsa, was endeavoring to attack him, with his arms he captured the demon by the two halves of the beak, and in the presence of all the cowherd boys, Krishna very easily bifurcated him, as a child splits a blade of virana grass. By thus killing the demon, Krishna very much pleased the denizens of heaven. Tada bakarim sutalokavasina Samakiran Nandana Malikadibi Samidire Chanaka Shanka Samstavas Tadiksha Gopala Sutta Vishishmire. At that time, the celestial denizens of the higher planetary system showered Malika Pushpa, flowers grown in Nanda Kanana, upon Krishna, the enemy of Bakasura. They also congratulated him by sounding celestial kettle drums and conch shells, and by offering prayers. Seeing this, the cowherd boys were struck with wonder. Okay, our last verse for today. Muktam bakasyad upalabhya balaka
Muktam vakasya uparabhya balaka
Ramadaya pranam ivendriyo ganaha
Ramadaya pranavendriyo gana
Stanagatam tam pari Rabya nirvrita
Anagatam tam parirabhya nivrita
Aniya vatsan brajam ityartaj jagu.
Praniya vatsam vajametyatam.
Just as the senses are pacified when consciousness and life return, so when Krishna was freed from this danger, all the boys, including Balaram, thought that their life had been restored. They embraced Krishna in good consciousness, and then they collected their own calves and returned to Brajabhumi, where they declared the incident loudly. Purport. It was a practice of the inhabitants of Brajabhumi to compose poetry about the incidents that occurred in the forest when Krishna performed his different activities of killing the asuras. They would compose all the stories in poetry or have this done by professional poets, and then they would sing about these incidents. Thus, it is written here that the boys sang very loudly. So, this is one example of so many unusual, unexpected events or pastimes that would be taking place. Here it was mentioning how it was not just occasional, but every day at least 2 or 3 demons. And Krishna, as a matter of fact, would handle that without that interrupting his main activity of looking after the cows. So just coming back to the statement made by Srila Prabhupada in the previous verse, whereby he mentions how this activity of, is that English? Cowherding calves, maybe, I think so. Is actually, this is the real education. This is the real education for young boys, actually. I mean, the gopis also looked after, but we don't hear descriptions of them going out in the forest, with the cows. Ladies also, as a matter of fact, it mentions how the ladies are the ones who do puja or wash the cows. They also care. I mean, everyone cares for the cows and the calves, but the particular duty and responsibility, and because this is part of this herding of cows, this looking after cows, is totally misunderstood, isn't it, in modern day society. It is described in the Shastra that in a village community, this looking after cows, maintaining cows, keeping cows, and deriving the various benefits that are there automatically, not only in the form of milk, but also in the form of a cow dung, cow urine, which is used so many different purposes. And also, I think recently someone from Mayapur, you might have read the article, wrote in maybe one of the forums here in Mayapur that cows don't only give milk. What else they give? That article, the title of the article was "Cows Give Water." Deep meaning here. Cows give water. Of course, you give seminars on that. Cows give water because this is totally unknown in modern day society. Because actually, Krishi Gorakshavanijam Vaisha Karma Swabhavajam. This is the economic basis. This is the ideal and most scientific system for providing the various necessities that human beings have. Bharata is the fourth of Vedic sciences, the science of economics. And the science of economics, from a Vedic point of view, is centered on cows and land. Yeah. How is it that cows give water? Because cows, very different from what we generally see in modern day society, where cows are generally imprisoned in goshalas. The goshalas are actually not meant for the cows to stay there as they do in, let's say, the modern system. Goshalas are generally meant for older cows or diseased cows. The system, if you go to, and I highly recommend for those who have not yet done this, on the border of Rajasthan and Gujarat is the largest Goshala in the whole world. Well, Goshala. Their Goshala is not like we think Goshala. Their Goshala, they have anytime or anywhere rather between 100,000 to 300,000 cows spread out in different villages, you know, and the cows are in the open 24/24 because they have trees. So whenever they want to take shelter, if it's too hot or when it's raining, they take shelter under trees. You know, isn't it? You've seen that maybe? You've been there, right? Okay. And it's so wonderful just to see such a large number of cows. It's just like sometimes the devotees share on the share these scenes of cows moving, right, going, sometimes running also, and like hundreds of cows. It's like this is how it was like 5,000 years ago, and in a few places, but not so many, one can still witness that here in India. And it's just like in this place, what's the name of the place again? Patmera, yeah. Patmera, they have like a very nice system of families. They actually have maybe 100 families who are given a certain number of cows, I think 100 cows to look after, and there's one or two milking cows there for the family, for the needs of the family. And the children are provided for. They have like Gurukul. And it's like a real, very, if you go there, although so many cows are there, you don't see any cow dung because they are trained to immediately pick up the Lakshmi when it falls down. This cow dung is Lakshmi. and they put, they utilize the cow dung in so many different ways. I was getting some of they were making, I don't know if they still do, because they have agents here and there, but they were making powdered milk, actually, and ghee, pure ghee, and whatnot. He he makes ghee. He has cows. This is the devotee. Yeah. Brahmacharis don't make ghee. This is Vasudhan Prabhu. Yeah. He's he's very much involved with our projects here. This is Ladini. Mataji, she came yesterday. So, so it's a whole, excuse me, it's a whole culture. You know that these descriptions we are hearing. There's a whole very deep philosophy behind it, and you know, I mean, um, to do even simple things like you know, people think carpenter, you know, is just like ordinary, but to be a carpenter, you need a lot of intelligence. You know, to make a house, a good carpenter, or to be a cowherd boy, you need to know many things, and especially for young boys who look after cows, it's a whole learning experience. That's why it mentioned that this is meant to be the real and proper education, because just like nowadays, people are promoting what they call, what is it? They have different names. Open school, you know. In some places, like, because modern day education, modern day system is not the real system, so they're experimenting with so many different types of education. In some places, actually, they don't have any kind of, they just allow people to do what they want, you know. But to some extent, I mean, that's similar to what the situation was, I'm sure, when you know, a whole bunch of boys go together and look after cows. Of course, their primary responsibility is to look after the cows, but in the same time, they invent, just like we read a little while ago, they invent all kinds of games, and they interact with one another, and it's a whole a very pleasant and natural, and is actually meant to be. Some people have written and spoken about how, well, Prabhupada in particular, how unnatural, artificial is the whole modern, where you try to put everyone in the same box kind of thing, and it's like a factory production, modern education in so many ways. So it's good to hear about these activities taking place. We get a glimpse of it here. Yeah. Okay. Any thoughts or comments? Yes.
I have one comment and 3 questions. Is that all right? Is that too many?
One comment? Yes.
3 questions.
Yes.
Yeah, just what you were saying about, again, about the modern education system, and you mentioned the open learning. You know, I was thinking that one of the...
Which learning?
Open, you mentioned
open school. Hare Krishna.